did startup 3 times and failed all the three. So I have a lot of learnings. Not that with all these learnings, my next startup will be a hit, but I'll definitely be less wrong. I'll be definitely much more mature than I was before these three failures. So let me explain to you what I did and why it went wrong. Maybe it will help someone. So my first startup was immediately after my MBA. So in my MBA, I got inspired by a course, that entrepreneurship is actually an option. Why not, right? So one professor inspired me in my MBA. So I thought, why not? It was actually a big deal in my family because I come from a normal middle class family. My father is a government employee. We were all told to study hard, get a job, engineer, doctor, something like that, right? So starting up was like never in the purview of anyone in my family, extended family, right? So when I decided this and I told my family, nobody was supportive. Yeah, but that didn't bother me. I still went ahead and started up. So at that time, I had very romantic notions about being an entrepreneur. I was like, hey, yes, being entrepreneur is the best thing. You're gonna be the next Bill Gates. So, you're gonna be a billionaire. Think like a billionaire. So I had all these notions. That you just have to start. Everything else will fall into place. Just go there and start. Do whatever you want. It'll work. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. So I did start. I built a content website. It was a clone of imdb.com for Indian audience. So the idea was, those days internet was still, getting popular. So I thought, I can build content websites for the popular segments in India, which is basically entertainment, cricket, and politics. So I thought, if I can build like popular content websites in these segments, then basically I've captured the whole Indian market. Everybody in India will come to my websites. They will not go to Google. So, in fact, I was so delusional. I remember telling my friends, hey, I'm starting up, and in 1 year, I'm going to defeat Google. Obviously, people laughed, but I actually had serious belief in me that I will do it. But then once I started, I realized that things don't happen magically. It's not like, you just start and everything else will happen. No, that happens, that does happen, but happens very, very rarely. For example, if you look at any of the big tech entrepreneurs, many of them are accidental entrepreneurs. Like Zuckerberg just started a website and it became a hit, right? So that does happen, but it's like a viral hit. You can't count on that. You can't count on, like a song becoming viral in YouTube, right? You have to promote it, right? So it very rarely happens. You can't just start and think that things will magically happen. Yeah, so I realized that. So I did that first startup for like 4 years. It did not work out. I tried various other small things. Then end of 4 year, I decided to take a job. So I became a product manager in a dot-com startup, which I did again for like 4 years. Then again, this Kida came into my head, oh, you should start up again. And this time, I thought, oh, now we are mature. Don't just start, solve a problem. Problem solving was big deal. All the startup gurus were saying, solve problems, make something people want. I thought, okay, let me solve a problem this time. I will not just start, I'll actually solve a problem which is bothering people. So those days, even now, I am fairly customer obsessed or user obsessed. I want to build products which are like perfect. People will love it. And I also have this notions that company should build products or like give service which the customers love. They should love it. Okay, so I thought most companies get this. Actually, they don't. So I thought, let me build a product which helps companies make their product or service better. Because I thought I obsess about customers. Obviously, I thought all other companies are also like that. So let me build some product everybody will buy. So this was my thinking. Solve a problem which people are facing, build it, then it will work. Of course, it didn't work. So I spent 1 year developing that product. Yes, 1 year. I was extremely meticulous, in developing the perfect product. So the product itself was a feedback tool for companies to use with their customers. So the idea was you will send a single question feedback, something like, "Are you happy with our service? Are you happy with your food? Uh, did you like our product?" Basically, companies can ask one question, and using that one question, we'll have intelligence with the data collected from the user, from the company about the user. We will find out patterns. What are the things which are, causing negative feedback, which is working, what is not working. So that was the product. So I meticulously, developed for like 1 year. Then I call my friends, who are in big position in companies. "Hey, dude, have this product. Why don't you use it? Just take it. You can pay 1 lakh per year, 1 lakh per month. Okay, shall we start?" They're like, "No." I remember one client told me, why will I want to take customer feedback? What will I do with feedback?" That was a complete shock to me. I thought everybody thinks like me. Obviously, customer experience is important, right? No. For many companies, they don't care, right? So, I was in a shock. For 1 year, I thought I have built something which people will line up to buy, but no. So I exhausted my contact list, and I didn't know what to do then after that. But then I just quit. So the second lesson from my startup experience is solving a problem is not good enough. It's actually quite easy to find problems. Like everywhere around us, there are like tons of problems, but just solving that or knowing how to solve it, that's not good enough. Business is like a whole other deal, which you have to figure out. So yeah, so this one flopped. So then it took some time off. Started some blogging, writing philosophical blogs, thinking about what to do next. So I went to a co-working space where I made a couple of good friends. So then we decided to another startup. So this was like an idea which the three of us came up with together. It was basically a Shopify kind of platform for Indian merchants. So at around that time, this is 2018, Instagram was picking up majorly in India, and a lot of commerce was happening inside Instagram. People were like setting up shops inside their Instagram pages by adding a link and selling stuff. Some of them did not even have a shop. They will just put their WhatsApp number in the Instagram bio, and people will ping them on WhatsApp and buy. So we wanted to make like a shop front which people can share in Instagram. Shopify itself was actually not good. It took a lot of time to load in Instagram. I think it still does. So I thought, I will build a platform very similar to Shopify, but it will load very fast. And we thought, obviously, people will buy it is solving a real problem. And also this time I had a team. So I had two other people. So that gave me some confidence because the previous two attempts, I was alone. So a lot of my delusion remained delusion, right? I was not getting corrected. This time I thought, okay, there are other people. So all of us cannot be wrong, right? Turns out we were. So uh, here, we did one thing different, which is we did marketing. Okay. In my previous two startups, I didn't do any marketing. This time I learned, okay, there is something called marketing and you have to do it. Remember, I am an MBA student from India's top B school. And I didn't know this. Yeah, so education sometimes doesn't help. Yeah, so we did marketing, we did digital marketing. We ran ads, ad campaigns in Instagram and Facebook and and Google Ads. We got some users, but it was like very few. We got like two, three users in like 5 months. Okay, so definitely that's not going to work, right? So quickly we realized that you won't be able to build a sustainable business, by spending so much money to get few customers. You need to get a lot of customers. Only then you can recover your cost, etc. So then we obviously wanted to raise funding for this because we thought with funding, we can actually spend much more money, get those early users who will actually like it and who will tell others, etc. But yeah, by the time it was too late, we had already used up all our savings, and we stopped. Okay, but this is the final learning. Okay, funding is the most important thing. Without funding, there is no chance a startup will work. Obviously, there are examples out there where people have built big companies without funding, but those are the exceptions. Just because one in a billion did something like amazing doesn't mean the rest of us can aim for it. So that's the case. So most 100, like 99.99% of startups need funding to have a chance of working. Okay, so I'll explain why. Whenever you develop anything new, people won't get it. People won't understand it. Even if they understand, they will not want to use it because it's something new. It's risky, right? So that's why when anything new is built, especially in internet, you need to talk to a lot of people. You need to basically sell it to a lot of people. So if you sell it, if you talk to 100 people, maybe one person will think about, okay, let me give it a shot. Right? This is why you need funding. You cannot use your savings to do this kind of marketing where you have lead generation of 1%. 100 people were reached. Out of that, 1% signed up. Okay, and among the number of people who sign up, 1% may become a paying user. And among the number of people who become paying user, 1% may may sustain himself or be a customer for a year, right? So nobody can spend their own money for it. You need to raise funding. And why do VCs want to invest in such startups? Because this spending money to get the early users is a one-time thing. So how it works is, in internet startups at least, in the beginning you have to spend money to get users. But at a certain stage, it would have reached a stage where people will come on their own. This is what they call network effects, right? So Instagram doesn't do any marketing anymore. People just use Instagram. They sign up for Instagram because everybody else is on Instagram, right? So they have reached a stage long back. And by the way, Instagram itself did a lot of marketing. When they launched, there was a PR blitz in the US. They were covered in TechCrunch, all that leading tech newspapers. They got tech influencers to talk about it. Even before launch, they built a buzz. Even Slack. Slack also, made a PR blitz. On day one of launch, everybody in Silicon Valley knew what Slack was. So all these companies, they actually spend money to get those early users, and eventually they'll reach the so-called product market fit. I think that's a useless word. Basically, at a certain stage, you don't need to spend money for marketing anymore. And basically after that, you just collect money, which is what all these guys do. So this is why VCs want to be part of this initial phase. Okay, so it's a good combination, right? VCs are risk takers, and startups need money in the beginning. Okay, so VCs will put in money, they'll take a stake, and then when the company goes for IPO or whatever big stage getting bought off or big exit, whatever it is, the VC makes money, right? So without funding, you will go nowhere. You maybe 1,000 people will come to know about your product, and that's it. Maybe one person will sign up, maybe your cousin, because because he's your cousin, and then it just dies. Okay, so funding is everything, but of course, even if you raise funding, there is no guarantee of success. This is another thing. I realized it already. I didn't have to go through one more failure. Good for that. This is because nobody knows what will work. A lot of people will claim or they'll act as if they know. Many VCs talk about these kind of things on Twitter, and they'll write blog posts about what to do to build a successful business. Actually, nobody knows. If people knew, if VCs knew how to do this, they'll be doing those. They'll be actually starting companies instead of investing in other people and having a lesser exit from the success of these people, right? So actually, nobody knows. Okay, because it's very difficult to, it's impossible actually to predict consumer behavior. Even in movies, you can see, directors like Subhash Ghai, he had a lot of success in the beginning and then failures. Okay, so even a director will not know what will work. Okay, just because something worked in the past may not work again, right? So nobody can predict what will work. But there are a lot of people who talk as if they know, they're all lying. Okay, so nobody knows. So the only way to find out is go to the market and see if people accept it. If people accept it, it's a success. Otherwise, it's a failure. Okay, so even after raising funds, your startup may be a failure. But that's fine actually. I will say that's a good failure because you actually gave a good shot. You went there and it failed. But if you failed much before, where like for example, you didn't raise funding and all, or you didn't solve a problem, or you didn't like give a good effort in executing whatever you made, in that case, you didn't even give a shot. Like I will not even call it a failure because you didn't go to market. You didn't actually get rejected by the people. You just died before you could even take a shot, right? So funding is everything, but funding also doesn't guarantee success. So now the final problem is how to raise funding. Because that is definitely not easy. I had an idea after my third startup, and we struggled, the three of us, to raise funding. We got rejected left, right, and center. We thought we have the credentials. We went to IIT, IIM. We have experience of starting up before, so people will just come and give their money. But no, people, the VCs, we met, partners level people, all the top VCs in India, but all of them, rejected. So then I was wondering, so what is the secret ingredient, right? Why do some people get funding and others don't? Because I have seen a lot of people get funded for this very obviously stupid ideas. Sorry, meaning obviously those products won't work, but they raise a lot of money. Okay, and also we have seen that people who have failed in their startups before are able to raise funding again. So this is again not very intuitive. But then I realized, funding is not a rational decision. Okay, like I said, nobody knows what will work. Okay, so when you talk to VCs, obviously they cannot say if whatever is going to work or not, whatever you're making. So basically, the judgment they make is based on gut. It is a gut-based judgment. It is not a rational judgment at all. They are not going to invest in you just because you have a very rosy pitch deck. They're not going to invest in you, just because you have a lot of experience or you went to the top tier B schools. There are a lot of people who go to top tier B schools. Okay, right? So they are not going to invest based on this because there are a lot of such people. Okay, so what they decide based on is mostly reputation. Reputation is the only thing which matters because reputation builds trust. Okay, so if you have already raised money, okay, it basically means you are reputable. Other people have already taken a bet with you, and you actually use that money properly, and you failed. Okay, even if you failed, you would actually use the money properly how it was intended to. So that is the biggest fear VCs have. Will the money I put be actually put in proper effort? Because nobody knows what's going to work. At least I want to make sure the money is used for that startup instead of stealing it away and running it away, right? So, so trust is what it matters, and trust comes from reputation. Okay, so if you did a startup before and you raised money, good trust. Okay, uh, if you are a known entity, like for example, if you are known for being a top developer on Stack Overflow, or you're famous on Twitter or like Instagram, like basically, if you are known for something, that builds trust. You are not a nobody anymore. Okay, and that's the only thing which matters. Okay, the investors should trust you. Everything else is like, it's only to talk about. Okay, people can invest money at idea stage, even before idea stage. Nothing matters. Okay, they will say as if, oh, you need product market fit, come back to us after this, after that percentage increases, after you have 1,000 customers, then they'll say come after 10,000 customers. All those things are like not true. The only thing matters is, do they have a feeling about you? Do they trust you, right? And the only way to build that trust is be known. And that's exactly why I have started this YouTube channel, because I want people to know me. Okay, and with social media, it's actually not very difficult actually to build a reputation, because all the social media have this machine learning algorithm which is very good at matching people with what they want to watch. So if you make decent content and make it consistently, you are bound to be successful. That's all. That's all it is. Make content and be consistent. And content, obviously, it has to be like slightly good, but you don't have to be that good, because not many people reach this stage. Okay, most people are like too shy or like too scared to post anything on social media. So if you overcome that, then basically you just have to make a decent quality which anybody can make. Okay, so that is why I've started this YouTube channel, because I want people to know me. So the next time I go for raising funds, people will, hopefully someone will say, hey dude, you are that guy from YouTube, right? I'm like, yes. Okay. So suddenly the discussion will be different. Okay, we'll talk about what I talked about in YouTube. Now basically the dynamic is different. I am not a nobody anymore, and they will have this gut telling them, okay, maybe you can take a shot with him, right? So yeah, so end of all the three failures in my startup journey, all I have realized is this: you need money, you need funding, and maybe it will work. Okay, so how to increase the chances of success? Okay, so obviously we don't know what will work. The only thing we can do is give more tries. Okay, so next time I'm going to try a startup, I will actually try for 6 months. Okay, if I'm not able to raise funding in 6 months, close it, and then try again. Okay, so and even if I raise funding, I will try to, take it to the next stage, Series A, Series B, within like, 2 years, right? 2 years or even 3 years. But the idea is you have to fail fast. This is again like a fancy term from Facebook and Silicon Valley, but actually, yeah, it's a useful idea. So since we don't know what will work, we have to try many times. And that's the only way you will increase the probability of success. So just imagine if I tried like I have maybe 10, 15 years of, good quality, life years left in me, right? So if I spend like 5 years on one particular startup, right? Then maybe I'll build two startups in the next 15 years, right? that means probability of success is quite low. Okay, but if I try like one startup like every year or like once in 2 years, then I can try like 5, 7 or like 8 startups even, right, till I get a success. So just compare 2 tries versus 7 tries. It's a huge difference of success, right? So that is why, uh, I will not get attached with startups anymore. Basically, I will build something, go out there, see if it sticks. If it sticks, okay, continue. If it doesn't stick, stop. Even when it sticks, you have to keep on like growing till IPO, right? So always be growing. Don't get too attached. Oh, this is my baby. I spend 1 year. So what? That's a sunk cost, right? So that is, I think, the mindset which basically increase the probability of success, and it applies generally in life also. Most things won't like give you success immediately. You have to do several times, only then, right? So even if you're going to start a social media like channel or profile on Instagram, right, most posts will not work immediately. Okay, after like you post like 50 pieces of content, then you may have like a viral hit. And like, thankfully, my first video itself do very well, did very well. Thank you all. But yeah, so I didn't hope for that, right? But the truth is, my second video may not do well as my first video, but I'll keep on putting it. Okay, the idea is the more videos you make, the more posts you make, the higher the chances of some post going viral, right? So this is what they call, I think, increasing the luck surface area, right? So don't think that, okay, I have one shot and I have to make it work. No, that never works. You have to take multiple shots quickly, and then something may work. Even then, it may not work, but then that's a risk we have to take. Sometimes you will fail throughout your life. That is fine. That is the nature of life, right? So I'm also, I don't think, I will definitely be successful in my next startups. Right? I may fail throughout my career, but that is fine. That is life. At least, I did work of, building all these ventures, and I think work itself is reason enough, because I think doing work, good quality work is a gift by itself, at least for me, because I have like mental health issues, which I'll talk about in a different video. Work itself, I think, is a gift, at least for me, and that's a healthy way of looking at it. Okay, instead of being result focused. Oh, I sold a startup to IPO. Okay, that may happen like once in a lifetime. But you are spending every day doing something. You have to enjoy it every day. You may not enjoy it, but at least you should not hate it, right? So that is why seeing work as an end in itself, I think, is a healthy way to have a career. So I'm happy to have attained that. So I will not have regrets, even if all my startups fail, because I did the work, and that's all is like needed in my book. Okay, guys, that's all for now. See you later.